Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night, which means it's another live Wicked Horror Show. I'm Kevin. As always, I'm joined by Tony Has Nine Fingers.
What is going on, people?
And we have Angel from That Strange Show. What's going on, Angel?
What is going on, Tony's people?
Yeah, and we welcome back filmmaker Edward Payson. What's going on? Hey. We've had you on for some stuff before, some documentary stuff, and yeah, you've been on our radar for a bit, and you have a new documentary, which is right in my wheelhouse because I'm a TCM man myself. Yeah, but so you want to talk a little bit about your new movie, and when is it going to be available to the masses?
Sure. Yeah. So we're planning on a release date of November 30th right now. We're having our final screening in Los Angeles on December 3rd, which is also open to the public. But yeah, it's called In Search of All American Massacre, the Lost Texas Chainsaw Film. And essentially it is a project that is years in the making. We started it kind of before COVID, and then now it's kind of all, come together. Very, very slow compared to my other documentaries, because this documentary, I don't know if you could tell since you guys, some of you guys watched it, but no one really wanted to work with us. And that was like a completely different situation than I dealt with my other documentaries, where everybody was like, not only do I want to work, with you, I want to tell my friends about it and get them to work with you as well. This was like pulling teeth, trying to get people to even show themselves on camera or talk to us in general.
Yeah.
So, yeah, strange experience, but for anybody who doesn't know, what the movie is about is Tobe Hooper's son, William Tony Hooper, made a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 Chop Top spinoff that started off as just a 10-minute film, but then evolved into a full-length feature film. And it was supposed to release on Halloween of 2000, and years went by without any updates. And in that time, kind of the filmmakers all kind of just fell off everyone's radar and didn't do any interviews anymore about the movie or anything like that. And everybody was kind of like, what happened to this movie? And Bill Moseley, reprised his role as Chopped Up as well. So like the implications of this film is like, because it was the year 2000, years and years before even YouTube, I think YouTube was like 5 or 6 years after this movie was made. This could be like the first fan film, and not only the first fan film, but the first fan film that had actual cast members in it. And it was made by, obviously, Tobe Hooper's son. So,
on like a micro, like no budget, like they just made it was just a group of friends. And well, yeah. And the weird thing too is that because I literally just got done watching it. But the thing that's cool with it is that there's people. Well, so Angel hasn't seen it, but Leatherface was played by Buckethead in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, which that was before he was really like he was known, but he wasn't like known. But yeah, it's pretty crazy to think that, and because I knew that he'd done the project with Bill, the Cornbugs, and I thought that was just their extent of their friendship. I thought it was like, okay, there was kind of primacy at times and stuff like that, but I didn't realize that they were friends for a long time. I mean, it was pretty cool to even hear that part of it, but because you had to go through all these hurdles, you had to take footage from other people's things to actually hear what Bill Moseley had to say, because Bill Moseley wouldn't do anything with the documentary, which is crazy to me because he's very approachable. I mean, it seems to me as a fan, but at the same time too, I can understand there may be legal implications and stuff like that on his end. Who knows? But yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions at the end of this documentary for sure.
Yeah, lots of red tape, lots of red tape that even we were kind of like, skeptical of crossing. But yeah, everything we learned is in the documentary, and people will find out like we know where the film is, but we aren't able to watch it. Essentially that's kind of the takeaway. But the biggest thing that we're trying to show the people is, most people who know about Texas Chainsaw Massacre or even huge fans of Texas Chainsaw Massacre have no idea this film even existed or ever existed.
Yep, I'm one of those people.
Let alone that. Yeah. And like I said, like some of the people I've talked to have like Texas Chainsaw Massacre tattoos all over them. Never heard of anything to do with All American Massacre. So we just have a kind of full look at the scope of the project from beginning to end. And you said it's like a low budget thing. However, all the people who worked on it were in very high positions at big companies, at the time. I mean, Todd Bates had already worked on pretty much all the seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He had done Hollow Man, Angel, all these different things as a special effects person. John Shea, he had worked on Mortal Kombat. He had worked on all these huge movies. He put like Goro together in Mortal Kombat and stuff. And even Tony himself, the director of the film, and Toby Hooper's son, he actually had worked on the special effects for like Tales from the Crypt and Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight and stuff. And so everybody kind of had their expertise they were working on. So that's why everybody's kind of like clamoring about it. Not only just the people who were involved in front of the camera, but the people that were involved behind the camera as well when it came to the gore effects and special effects and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty insane to there's been so many years, and like when you watch the documentary, there's that one cast member who played Grandpa who said that up until maybe even like 10 years ago there was still some communication about it, and considering that it was made in the late 90s, and they were still talking about going and doing pickup shots and stuff like that. And I don't know, that's weird. I legit had no idea it even existed. Have you guys, Angel and Tony, have you guys ever heard about this before?
Nope. Before this documentary, I had no clue whatsoever. I mean, I'm surprised at you because I know you're a huge, Texas Chainsaw Massacre
but the thing though is I'm a big TCM1 guy. I like TCM2. Don't get me wrong, I like it. But what one has got a special spot in my heart. Two's awesome. I mean, it's out of the rest of the franchise. For a guy with a giant Leatherface tattoo on his arm, I hate most of the franchise. But that first one especially, did it for me. But yeah, I didn't know anything about it. So how did you know about it? Like how long have you known about this?
I mean, I've known about it since like right after I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And it was, I think, around the time I had looked at links to try to download Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, like before it came out, because for a long time that film was like considered like a lost film. I don't say like a long time, but it was like kind of shelved for like 3 or 4 years. Because I think like Universal had it at first and then Lionsgate ended up getting it later. But like you could download the film with like the it still had like the time code on it and everything. You could download it like illegally through like Kazaa or LimeWire or one of those types of things back in the day. And where I was trying to figure out like where I could download the House of a Thousand Corpses, I had seen like the interview with Bill Moseley for All American Massacre. So back then, I'm not going to say like this whole time I've been looking for it, but back then I heard about it. And then I was just like recently reminded of it, just like from a few people I follow on YouTube and stuff like that. And then also some t-shirts just came up, like some people who made like these like t-shirts had this t-shirt that had a design of Chop Top that I had never seen before and anything. And then I kind of like went further and researched it and then found out it was from All American Massacre. So that kind of led me back down the rabbit hole.
Nice.
Wow.
That's it's pretty awesome. And it's also pretty awesome that there's like something out there that everyone's like clamoring for, it's
yeah, I'm looking at the trailer now for the for the documentary, but yeah, there's
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of footage that's out there too. Like you ended up getting your hands on some stuff that you used in the movie, that some like little cut scenes and stuff like that. And there was like some actual like more not screen use, but because the trailer that was put together is very, very small glimpses of what Leatherface looked like, but you're able to see what he looked like for the most part in one scene, or one little short clip and stuff like that. Because I was the whole time up until that point, that when you played that, I was like, what does he look like? Because I'm like, Buckethead's a skinny dude. Like, how does that work? Is it a fat suit? Like what's the mask like? Because they showed that one scene where like they were holding up the mask, and I'm like, it kind of looks like a Halloween store old school like 74 mask. But then Toby Hooper came in and he was messing with it, and it became something different, which is that's pretty cool too. Like that he actually showed up on set, because it was his son, so it makes sense, I guess. But it's pretty crazy. So yeah, there's always these little things that like I have in the back of my mind that I'm always on the lookout for. And that's what, for me, like collecting, I always had like bucket list movies that I was like, I need to find this movie. I'm not gonna stop until I find this movie. I've found them all like over and over again now. So like now this is something that I'm like, I need to see this. This is gonna be on my list, but who knows? Hopefully someday we can all see it. Yeah.
And so the thing that obviously because you watched it, but that I might have not talked about is, in the movie we also kind of follow this trail of breadcrumbs, because it wasn't like just the thing where the movie wasn't released and then nothing else was released. Like we literally like got these leads to where like someone who's a producer in the film abandoned a storage locker, and that storage locker happened to have footage from All American Massacre, like the master tapes and stuff, because they did a digital, they shot on digital, so it had master tapes as well as like thousands and thousands of film reels for all these projects that he worked on. I think he worked on over like 200 big time like horror movies, to where you would know the name and know the movie just by the name, and full franchises and stuff. I think like all the Hellraiser movies that came out before he had passed away, and that's producer Eric Lasser. And we go down the trail of breadcrumbs and kind of like pick apart, like, okay, what can we learn from this kind of thing? And then years later, like even as far as like 2020, footage from All American Massacre has randomly like shown up online, and people are like, where the hell did this come from? Because nobody knows, who ended up with those master tapes once that storage locker was open and then the stuff inside was sold.
Yeah, and that's interesting too. Like, so Angel, like there was a storage locker and stuff was found and it was sold. Like, was it on eBay originally, or was it just through an auction or something?
Oh yeah, originally it was like one of those things where like you go in person and you bid on just looking,
like Storage Wars, like one of those things.
And, like that. And from there, that guy who bought it ended up selling the stuff on eBay.
Really? All right. So just some random dude.
Yeah. Right. It was just a random guy.
Yeah. Random seller. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because in the documentary, they reach out. Yeah, they reach out to him, and he couldn't figure out who he sold it to. Yeah, which is it's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder who bought that.
Someone knows.
Somebody knows.
Yeah, and that's one cool part of the documentary too, is that you actually buy some other stuff and you go through it. Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, and the thing too is like, when you think about it, like there could be two versions of this movie that exist. The version of the movie that has all the the actual cuts by Tony Hooper and stuff, but then also there could be another bootleg about someone who like recut it themselves, just having all the master tapes.
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna make the movie I want.
Yeah,
with all these pieces.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. I mean, it's been going on for so long too, and like that's the thing, is I was all about Texas Chainsaw Massacre back then too, like early 2000s. Like I don't know how it was completely under my radar, but then again, like you said, it was well before YouTube, and so that stuff wasn't just out there. and it was like a Flash website that ended up just falling apart as Flash disappeared. And yeah, it's pretty insane. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's awesome that you did the documentary because you're bringing this to light, and you have some other really cool people involved in it. Jose Prendes, right? Is that how you say his last name? I think he's frozen.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I know him from other YouTube videos and stuff too. I think he did a lot of stuff with Wet Movie One and Cool Looter back in the day. And Felicia's in the movie. And, there's a lot of, this, people that really want it. And it's still insane to me that you could only get one cast member that would actually talk to you.
Yeah. That was going to be my question. Like when you were reaching out to these people saying like, hey, I want to put this thing together. Like, what was the reasonings like behind the no's, or like, I don't want no part in it? Like, did you ever get like a good excuse, like a good reason?
There's a bit of a delay, so I think he's got a second. Maybe.
Edward Payson.
Edward Payson. You there, Edward Payson?
I mean, the only reason we ever got really was people were not at about the film.
I'm sorry, you were cut up a bit. They were not at what?
Oh, I know it's snowing. I don't know where he's at, but
he's in LA.
Or
he's in California, so it's not snowing for him. But winters do get cold. That's brought up in the documentary. I just want to message him, let him know he's freezing up. But so Tony, you got to see it. What are your thoughts on it? I didn't. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about what your thoughts on the documentary were?
Well, it reminded me of like, what is it, like the Mandela effect that everybody talks about, almost like that.
Yeah,
like
Shazam
with Kazam isn't with Shaq. Get it right. Okay?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
But it reminds me of one of those like Shazam with Sinbad, where everybody, half the people said that exists, and then at that point in time, all it is a 10-minute clip that they put out. But it reminded me of that, where
that was also made after the fact. That was made as a joke. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like, I was wondering why it was so hush hush, and why they would try to not hide it so much, but like
it's taboo. Taboo.
Yeah. But there's a bunch of things that, I mean, it comes up in the documentary where it may be something where the intellectual, like the property, like where the companies were like, we own this, you can't do this kind of deal.
And they're like, oh yeah, well, we'll call it.
Yeah, but nowadays it's almost like it happens all the time, like fan made films.
Right, but this was before. This was before. Like that. Yeah, this was back in the day.
This is before fan made was like a thing where you could have a studio just like Bat in the Sun type deal.
Yeah. It was back in the day where if you even just used an image on something, you could get sued. But it's like now it's everywhere. Most of the money I make off of TeePublic is off of other people's stuff. Real quick, Sergio's in the chat room. He just wants to say hi. What's up, Sergio?
Edward, you there?
He just messaged me saying it's not working. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, what I saw from the trailer there, because when you linked the trailer in our group chat, I mean, you saying that he lifted some of those are snippets of the actual movie, or
yes, yep.
So like the arm chopping and everything. So was Bill Moseley in this movie?
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
Edward, you there?
It might be if you switch off your video, maybe your bandwidth will. But yeah, I mean, it looks on par with like, like you said, you're not a big fan of it, but TCM2 with the colors.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not
craziness.
I'm more of a fan of the original.
Yeah, of course. but with the craziness and the double wheel, saw wielding hopper.
So what it was is so Bill Moseley's in it, but it's like a kind of a thing where he's in prison and he's telling stories about before Texas Chainsaw 2.
Okay, so it was like, I remember when I was out of here.
Right, and then it goes to a different guy who's playing Chop Top, like a young Chop Top. Sergio's saying that he doesn't see us on Facebook, but we are on Facebook, so I don't know what you're talking about, Sergio. I understand that you don't see it, but we're there.
Maybe the whole system's crashing down, man.
No, it's not. I can see it right here.
Use the front door.
I can see it right here.
Oh, there you go. There. Inception. Hey, what's up, guys? Use the front door.
Yep, see right there. So yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Wicked loud. Loud.
I'm wicked loud.
Yeah, you got wicked loud.
Like 2 seconds ago, it was very.
I'm sorry.
No, wicked loud. Wicked loud horror show.
Yeah, wicked loud horror show.
So I'm gonna, where can people watch this movie?
It's not available anywhere yet. He said it's coming out November 30th, right? Is that what he said? 30th.
Yep. And then the last screenings at places would be late, early December, but it should be out for the public viewing the 30th of November.
Okay, that's my birthday song.
Is it really? It's my sister's. And that's also November 30th.
November 30th.
That's my sister's birthday too.
Oh, happy birthday, sister!
Edward's back. We don't know. Hopefully, it doesn't freeze up as much. Do you want to try shutting off your video, Edward, just to see if that maybe saves some of the bandwidth or something? How about now?
You theirs?
It's weird. My computer is super fast. So.
Yeah. It's got to be the connection. Hello? It's got to be your internet connection or something.
Hello?
Yep. We can hear you. Can you hear us? The joys of the internet.
We'll give them that Chuck Woolery. We'll be back at 2 and 2.
Yeah.
You got the trailer?
Fast internet. Yeah, I do. He does hear us. So yeah, what I'm going to do, Edward, is I'm going to play the trailer. If you want to jump out and jump back in, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because you're on the other side of the country. I don't know. Internet's dumb. Now, I'm not choppy, because you guys, Tony and Angel, you guys aren't choppy for me. I'm not choppy. Okay.
No, you look a little hazy, but
I look hazy
from time to time. There's a little wash of haze. Tripping balls, man.
All right,
balls, man.
While we wait, I'm going to play the trailer. So here is the trailer for the Awesomes in Search of American Massacre documentary coming out on November 30th, also known as Angel's birthday and my sister's birthday. And
Willow.
Willow?
Yeah, Willow on Disney Plus.
Anyways.
In 1999, a direct sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, starring Bill Moseley, went into production. For the first time, a documentary team comes together to learn what happened to All American Massacre.
So what is All American Massacre? Well, it's a film made by William Tony Hooper, who's Toby's son. He wanted to make a spin-off film based on his dad's famous franchise, and he wanted to use the character of Chop Top.
I think that maybe as an accumulation of all the work that he's done with his father, that this probably was, hey, look, Dad, I can carry this on, the tradition, and get it right.
The film went into production in 1999, and then in August 16th of 2000, they announced that the film was going to be released on Halloween. It did not come out on Halloween. It never came out at all.
All American Massacre, to this very day, 20 years after the filming of it, still has not seen the light of day.
What is this film? Why was it never released?
I never heard any of the conspiracy theories.
I started to hear rumors that some of the footage ended up with somebody back east somewhere or something, and that had been sold off to the highest bidders.
One of the producers of this film, Eric Lasher, abandoned a storage locker.
Somebody bids on it, they open it, what do they find? The elements for All American Massacre. I'm talking film reels, all that good stuff. Somebody buys it, and then it disappears yet again.
So I didn't know about the Lost film, and I feel like people need to know about it because it's one of those things where once you find out, it's just sort of going to cap the entire experience of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I really hope we get to see this movie.
So there's a lot of clips on YouTube, and there's just so much evidence that this movie exists. And all those clips show that the movie could be good. That it could be good and it should be seen. It's art. It's art, and art shouldn't be hidden. It should be out there. So whoever has it, give it up, man. Come on, give it up. Let it be finished so we could see it, so we could enjoy it, you know? I want to see it. I want to see it before I leave this world. How about that?
Wow.
I want to see it before and after I leave this world.
That's going to be hard. But
yeah, well,
I think that we could do it.
Yeah.
See, that's a weird thing, though. Like, see, the one thing that if the person was going to buy film off of eBay, you would think that they would do something with it at that point in time.
I mean, people collect those little fucking film caps all the time, and they don't do nothing.
Maybe they're like, "What is this?" And then they just burnt it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because if you're gonna, especially, I don't know how much they bought it for, but it looked like it was for a good amount of money. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna buy it, I mean, at some point, in time you should...
So was that like dramatization, that screen, or was that an actual like website that it's still holding?
Yeah, he showed like how he tracked down the person who sold the film originally, and then they contacted them trying to figure out who it was that he sold it to, and he's like, I don't know. It was such a long time ago. So he's trying to come back on.
Yeah, that is. I would love to find out.
Yeah,
who has that?
Can you hear us, Edward? Yes, maybe we can hear you a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's just sitting legit in someone's like shoebox with the tapes and
it's
you can hear us?
Choppy, but I hear.
I don't know what's going on. That's so weird.
Okay.
So yeah, before we lose you again,
I shut the camera off.
Okay. Just in case, before we lose you again, you said that it's going to be coming out November 30th. Where is it going to be coming out? Is it going to be available on demand? Oh. Where will the movie be available for people to watch on November 30th? I'm going to text you. Talk amongst yourselves, guys.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just me. If I'm going to spend all that money on certain things, I thought it'd leave one.
First place it'll be available is Plex.
Oh, okay.
And available on Amazon.
And Amazon.
Okay.
Apple TV.
Now Angel's camera's gone. What happened there?
Did you do it on purpose?
Try to help with the bandwidth, bro.
Oh.
Sharing internet here.
Yeah.
But I thought this wasn't a sharing platform.
No,
it's not. It's a web based.
Yeah. So I mean, all right. So I mean, Prime, Amazon. I mean,
Plex.
Plex.
I mean, if it's on Plex, then I don't know if they do on demand on Plex or if it's going to be something that's free.
They do have a movies added now, shows added now. Plex, dude, the platform Plex has grown exponentially.
Oh, totally. Not just my personal Plex, but yeah,
not just yours. But yeah, when I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know Kevin had this on there, and it's not. It's fucking Plex. Like yeah, we brought movies too, motherfucker.
Do they have like originals too, or
yeah?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they have like it's kind of like Freevee, and like Tubi, stuff like that. There's a bunch of there's like whole TV series up there and everything. Like a lot of the same stuff. He's trying again.
Yeah, so I mean, just like these guys are saying, like, yeah, we need to. It'd be awesome to get a cut, just like that whole thing with Event Horizon.
Yeah,
there's that missing, 15 minutes of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard about
you know,
that.
we'll never get a director's cut, or like a true director's cut of that, because there's missing, you know, film.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm interested in checking this out. So can you hear us all right now, or?
I can hear you if you can hear me. Can you confirm that you can hear me?
We can hear you. There is a bit of a delay, but yeah, we can hear you.
There's like a 5-second delay.
Okay, so right now it's showing you guys at 30 minutes and 20 seconds. I don't know how much of a delay that is, but
it's about
5 seconds.
It's about 5
seconds, yeah.
7 seconds.
So, Angel, you had a question?
All right. Yeah, I can't hear you. It's not choppy or anything. It's just a little delayed, I guess. If you want to.
Okay. Sorry about that. It's web based, so I'm not sure what the deal is.
Yeah. What was my question?
I don't know. You had asked before what some of the reasons that people were giving that they couldn't be part of the movie.
Yeah, like legal reasons or like BS that you can see right through, or that kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it wasn't even. It was more just we're not at liberty to speak about it, or you know, they didn't either. They did that, or they just didn't respond at all on camera for anything. I don't want to say anything about it. Yeah, a few times little reasons were brought up. Just saying like they don't want to be the person to, you know, leak something very near to like pulling teeth. To get people involved.
Yeah. So Angel, when you get a chance to see it, they actually talk about how like they reached out to Bill Moseley's manager and they were like they were go. It was all good, and then like an hour later they're like, just kidding, it ain't happening. Psych. Yeah.
Music is my life.
Yeah. Let me see. Browser.
Yeah, no, I'm interested because, like I said, like even I like even the ones you hate of the TCM franchise. Give me that shaky robot leg, Matthew McConaughey, and fucking. You know, my mama's my sister.
But I just find, because it's not like the first time we heard that there's been, you know, movies that have, you know, had a set release and then just never came out, and then it kind of this one, but it was one of those things where it's a huge franchise, you know, one of the bigger horror movie franchises that you would think any title with like according to it, I guess, would come out, but I guess it might be like legal reasons or something.
Yeah, I think that's probably what, for me, from what I've gathered, I think that's what it boils down to. A lot of legalities. They went and shot a whole movie, and then by the time it got out of the, you know, to go to the cutting room floor, they got probably hit with a cease and desist. Everybody got pissed off. We're gonna get this movie out, and then people went about their business and their day, and then, you know, paper trail gets pushed down and down and down, and you know.
I think that's a problem with, like, especially with certain franchises, the longer they go, because a lot of the time people always want like certain franchises to come out in like a big box set. But the problem is, the longer the franchise goes, the better chance of other like companies buying the rights to it. So instead of having just all of them under one branch, you have it under these different, and they might not want to do it. It might, because I think in the documentary they mentioned that the second one was then put out by now a company that's no longer there.
Yeah, it was Canon. So then it was owned by Sony after that. Just real quick before we get, so the one and only MSJ is asking what movie we're talking about. It's called In Search of All American Massacre. So it's a documentary about the direct sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 that was filmed back in like 98, 99 and never released. And the footage is nowhere to be found. There's like little snippets here and there. The documentary maker is our guest. He's having some internet issues right now, so he'll be back. But I watched it and Tony watched it, and it was great. He's a great documentary filmmaker.
Definitely.
And
I like
it's something I didn't know about. And I'm a guy who prides himself in being a TCM man. You know,
TCM man.
But yeah, I just find it interesting that it's, you know, especially where diehard fans had no idea about it.
No, I had no idea. I thought, you know, part 3 was it.
Well, Next Generation.
Yeah.
That would be 4, right?
Well, 2, and then
I thought it was 4 of them. Like 4 of the original, and then it was like the spin-offs and stuff like that. Wasn't there a third one?
Yeah, there was a third one.
Like third one, and then
he was using Safari. He was using Safari. I asked him to download Chrome, and now it's telling him he has to use Safari, which is weird. So I just asked him if he could try it on his phone.
Yeah, go on your phone. Phone.
Yeah, phone. So dial it up. But yeah, so yeah, bing, bing, bing. But no, it's really good, and it's going to be it's going to be on Plex, Prime? Yeah, Prime, and Apple TV and stuff like that on November 30th.
It's also my birthday.
So you don't like Willow?
I don't want to see the new show. If that makes, I'm cool with I'm cool with just the movie.
I thought the same way. Then I watch a trailer and.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and then it's like, oh, we're gonna tug at your heartstrings. Remember me? I do.
You just look a lot older from what I remember you.
Where's your little rat tail?
Wasn't that his wife's hair?
Yeah.
Here, have my hair for good luck.
Yeah.
It's like, what the? You know what would be interesting if they have the same girl who played Baby Elora Danan as the girl, but it's definitely not.
I just think it's weird that we're talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and then it turned into Willow.
Well, he was very disturbed as to my disdain for the new Willow episodic saga that's about to drop heat in Tony's TV.
Well, anyways, it is what it is.
Kevin, do you have since you're a TCM man, you got any? What do you got TCM related back there?
A bunch. I have this first of all. My dad do. I got one Funko here. I got another one boxed back there. I have the pretty face or the pretty lady one box back there. I have the big McFarlane one.
With the big old fucking chainsaw?
Yeah, I got that one back there. I have a bunch of stuff on the wall. Like a bunch of the NECA boxed stuff. I have the mask up there. I don't know. I got the old school McFarlane, like the Movie Maniacs one as well.
Yeah, that one's sick.
But that's the thing, is that's the one that I have the giant one of, is the giant Movie Maniacs one too. I have the Ash Movie Maniacs as well.
See, going back to the documentary too.
And just real quick, those lights, the string of lights are little Leatherface heads as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a little effect. A little bokeh.
But the thing with the documentary too is, you know, they were talking about the movie, if it's, you know, great or if it pays homage or whatever, or if it's even good kind of deal. Like the thing that has me, as I was watching the documentary, I was thinking that, you know, with all the people that are actually in it, especially nowadays, with your Bill Moseley, with Buckethead and stuff, even though Buckethead like never speaks at all. But you would think that if with these bigger names in it, if they mentioned it, you would have maybe a more clamoring for people to. So maybe the fact that they didn't mention anything ever about it. Maybe
what if it comes out and we find out It should have stayed hidden.
Mm. Well, that's one of those things. It's like I can't wait for it, and then you watch and you're like,
But you gotta think. It was of the time. Like, you know, if something came out that was shot 1999, like came out today, it would have drastic quality difference. Like, you know,
yeah,
what
but
I
then
mean?
would,
Like,
but then you would have to
aesthetic.
kind of, you would have to, well, I guess kind of, you would have to base it off the movies that came out around that time.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So, like,
Which
have
would
you,
have
have
been
you
the-
ever revisited something that you thought was like
Yes.
sick from like 1996, 90s, and then you're like, oh, this is different time in my life and different part of my brain.
Yeah,
So, the one and only MSJ is saying that he has some Toonie Terrors T-Stamp figures. I have the Leatherface from that as well. I think that's the only one I have.
He's real buff. He's real buff in that one, right?
Yeah, a friend of mine knows I'm a little obsessed, and he used to work for a company called Newberry Comics for a
Hey.
wicked good time. And he, whenever anything new would come through, he would always grab it for me.
That was a tagline.
Yeah, if you watch Hatchet, the first Hatchet movie, he's wearing a Newberry Comics shirt that's all splattered in blood. We're giving it another shot. Can you hear us now? We saw you.
I hear you. I hear you right now.
Hey, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
How many fingers do I have?
All of them. Tony has 9. You have 10. Anyways, so yeah, before you know, all the technical stuff, because the internet is awesome sometimes, and sometimes it just isn't.
Fuck the internet, bro.
Anyways, so yeah, you know, besides this movie, I want to make sure people know of your other stuff that's out as well. So if you want to talk a little bit about the other things people can see that you've done, because you've done other documentaries, you've done other horror movies and stuff too. You want to run down a list and maybe where people can see these things?
Sure. So just last year, 2021, I came out with a documentary called Rarity, Retro Video Game Collecting in the Modern Era, where we go around the country and the world actually talking to collectors of various video game consoles, items, rare items, people with, you know, everyday collections to people with multi-million dollar collections. We talked to a guy who had a $35 million video game collection, someone with a golden Nintendo Wii from the Netherlands that was made for the Queen of England. Some really cool stuff. We got a lot of feedback.
It just went up in value, I'm sure. Yeah, because of her demise.
It's all over the place. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. And then I have my documentary the year before that came out called Our Friend John, which is a family friend who passed away from sickle cell anemia. But before he died, his friends, my brother being one of them, decided to make a his film that he died, which was a horror film. So we kind of document them making this horror film that their friend was writing before he passed away. And that is also on Amazon Prime and all over the
Yep, and I'm pretty sure we had you on for that one as well. I think that's how I first knew of you, is through that documentary,
which is a 3 in Los Angeles trying to make it
got all choppy again. Oh man, we were going so good. And then I had to open my big mouth.
Broke it up. And then I have one called the Cohasset Snuff Film, which is about getting high school club.
Yeah, man.
That
Oh man. Anyways, I'm gonna pull up his IMDb and I'm gonna go down the list.
Yeah, he said the Cohasset Snuff Film.
Yeah.
Which looks bananas.
Yeah.
And then he did that the one about he was talking about his brother behind the scenes movie. That looks like a tearjerker.
Oh no, it's great.
That's what we had him on the first time for, was that documentary.
And here's a fun little story is that him and Bill go way back. Bill because he's originally from New England. But anyways, Edward is a super talented documentary maker and filmmaker in general. I'm just getting his IMDb pulled up. So yeah, he said that a lot of these are available like on Amazon Prime and everything. Yeah,
that's where I found them through the video games stuff.
Yeah, the Rarity retro video game collecting in the modern era. Yeah,
before that was when it was posting about video games.
Oh yeah, okay.
Random.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude. I want to say I think I met him up in Buffalo. I'm not positive, but I think I did. Like in person. But yeah, he's got some really good stuff. All right. So yeah, I'd check that out. If you just look at his IMDb, and it's Antihero Productions is his production company. And what I'll do is I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the show notes, so people can go check that out as well. And I apologize for the internet being dumb. And what I'm gonna do, because we still have about 50 minutes left, I'm gonna play the trailer one more time because I don't believe Brother Max had seen it. So I'm going to play it right now, and then we can just wrap things up just talking about whatever. So we'll be right back. Here we go.
In 1999, a direct sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, starring Bill Moseley, went into production. For the first time, a documentary team comes together to learn what happened to All American Massacre.
So what is All American Massacre? Well, it's a film made by William Tony Hooper, who's Toby's son. He wanted to make a spin-off film based on his dad's famous franchise, and he wanted to use the character of Chop Top.
I think that maybe as an accumulation of all the work that he's done with his father, that this probably was, hey, look, Dad, I can carry this on, the tradition, and get it right.
The film went into production in 1999, and then in August 16th of 2000, they announced that the film was going to be released on Halloween. It did not come out on Halloween. It never came out at all.
All American Massacre, to this very day, 20 years after the filming of it, still has not seen the light of day.
What is this film? Why was it never released?
I never heard any of the conspiracy theories.
I started to hear rumors that some of the footage ended up with somebody back east somewhere or something, and that had been sold off to the highest bidders.
One of the producers of this film, Eric Lasher, abandoned a storage locker.
Somebody bids on it, they open it, what do they find? The elements for All American Massacre. I'm talking film reels, all that good stuff. Somebody buys it, and then it disappears yet again.
So I didn't know about the lost film, and I feel like people need to know about it because it's one of those things where once you find out, it's just sort of going to cap the entire experience of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I really hope we get to see this movie.
So there's a lot of clips on YouTube, and there's just so much evidence that this movie exists. And all those clips show that the movie could be good. That it could be good and it should be seen. It's art. It's art, and art shouldn't be hidden. It should be out there. So whoever has it, give it up, man. Come on, give it up. Let it be finished so we could see it, so we could enjoy it, you know? I want to see it. I want to see it before I leave this world. How about that?
I still want to see it before I leave this world, and then again after. Still, I haven't changed my mind on that.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I just messaged. I was going back and forth during that, and yeah, he definitely has a fast enough connection. It's more that it doesn't play well with Safari. That's my bad. I always forget to mention that too. I always forget to mention that. Sergio's going to send me something on Facebook. I don't know why, but okay. I'm just letting you know that we are on Facebook. I understand that you're not seeing it. We are on Facebook.
YouTube.com.
We're on both.
And Facebook.
We're on both.
Yeah.
He's on YouTube watching. He's not able to see us on Facebook for whatever reason. I have nothing to do with that. But anyways, so yeah, go check out this awesome documentary. Highly recommend it. And it's one of those things where, like I said, this is one of those things that I'm going to be like, if there's bootlegs out there, at any point, I want to try to find one. Just like there's there's a sequel to A Christmas Story, but it's not. It's just a story about the same family.
A summer story?
No, there's another one. There's another one that actually goes for a lot of money if you can ever find it on. It's only on VHS too.
Yeah.
This Holland something Oppenheimer something whatever. It's a weird title, but it's one of those things where it's not a very good movie either because I've seen it. But yeah, so it's one of those things because for years I was like I need to find the uncut version of Dead Alive, the Brain Dead cut. Then I'm like I need to find whatever movie it is on DVD or had to import things from Malaysia, like all these other things, and it's like great, now I have all these things, and now it's like I need something else to be like. So now my only like thing that I fight for is I want May to be released on Blu-ray. That's it.
See, there's some movies that either never got a physical release to begin with, so those are like those like fantasy movies that it's like a fever dream that you don't remember if you've seen it or not. Then you get the movies that are only released on, VHS that never made it to even DVD. I know there's one, Adventures of Dinosaur City, that I always wanted some kind of. The only thing is, I think it's on VHS, but there's, like I said, there's movies that never made it to physical, or movies that just never made it up the ladder of the different platforms. So yeah.
I mean, and there's other things too where it'll get like a release, but it's not a good release. Like they just literally are just like, all right, I'm gonna put a VHS camcorder and I'm gonna put like a digital camcorder in front of a TV and play the VHS. I don't know, Sergio, simmer down. It's available. I already showed you that it's available. So anyways, but yeah, there's that. I don't know, Tony. I don't know if you want to bring it up, but you said that you picked up some bargains up at the library. You were looking for books and you picked up the whole Nancy Drew collection and the Hardy Boys.
Ramona Quimby.
So I know the library in my town did it once. This was years ago. This was also a library in the town over that I just found out today. But I guess this is a little note to go check your local libraries. I don't know if they all do it at the same time or different, like almost
or at all
spring cleaning
and maybe certain states. Yeah,
because like I said, I know ours did it in my town, and then this is the town over. So check it every once in a while because you can find some deals. I don't know. I guess it's just an overhaul of stuff that they get that they try to get rid of because libraries actually do rent movies, which I didn't realize before until one of my buddies told me that, this is where I go to rent certain ones for free.
Yep.
So I guess at that point in time, when they get too many movies, then or bring in new ones to get rid of the old ones. So check your local library. They had them on sale for 50 cents, and I found some titles that were going for, quite a bit of money. A couple of them over $100. So here's a little PSA, and check your local libraries every once in a while. I mean, go and take out some books, but also
goddamn book.
But also every once in a while, I'm sure they might have some movies as well. So
yeah,
check that out.
Yeah, and just to show Sergio, this is the stream on Facebook right now. So we are on Facebook.
Let me see my hands wave up.
Well, there's a delay. There's a delay. Give it some time. See that I'm holding up the phone. Your hands will be coming any second now.
Oh, there's the hands.
There they are.
Mr. Hands.
Mr. Hands. Ooh, I don't know if I want to talk about that.
We talked about that on the last episode.
Yeah. Well, you're perfect. So Brother Max is saying his library does the same thing. I get free books and get some deals on movies. it's I know I want to say my friend Bill. I think he gets movies and stuff from the library all the time. If you frequent the library, I go there because I can. I don't read physical books. Like I'll use like a Kindle or audiobooks, and as opposed to paying for like Audible, if you have a library card, you can sign up for Libby, and you can listen to audiobooks for free. You just have to get a library card.
Yeah, they got Canopy too for video streaming. You can find some movies on there. There's documentaries.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is not every library service has and Jeremy Courtney, aka Jar Jar Jeremy. It's tons of TPB.
Yeah, trade paperbacks.
Oh, I thought he was making like a toilet paper reference.
Yeah, no, that's why I go rent a lot of graphic novels, comic books. Grown-up books.
Yeah. I just wait and then I rebuy them over and over again. And I still read the books that I read in the 90s because I know how to really keep my finger on the pulse of things.
Yeah.
But then the thing too is they had some titles that I was just like, what? Like random, like I'll just show you a couple of them that were.
Yeah, let me see these randos.
So it was the Tokyo Gore Police,
which is a ridiculous movie.
Yeah.
Then there's Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl.
And that one is you got that for 50 cents. And how much is that one going for on the eBay right now?
Like around $150.
I'll give you $2.
You stole from the library.
And then Dead Sushi, which I never seen. Which the back of it looks ridiculous. It kind of looks like it would be like on the lines of Dead Alive or something along those lines.
I think it's on the lines of like was it like Kung Fu Hustle and stuff like that. Like
is it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a comedy. I think could be completely wrong.
Trauma-esque.
But
it's higher quality than that, honestly.
These three right here, close to like $300, and I got them for $150.
So if you were a good man, what you would do is you would sell those and then give the money back to the library.
Oh,
this is true.
But you're not gonna.
A good one.
Yeah,
if
you are an evil person.
If I was a good man,
if they're good enough, I just keep them for my own collection, so it wouldn't go anywhere anyway. But
but what he's saying is that he picked them up for 50 cents and not $150, because so now they're in his collection for dirt cheap.
Because there's been times where people, I look at it, especially around my area, there aren't any like pawn shops or anything like that, which everybody I see, especially in the movie collecting community, they always talk about going and finding all these deals. I don't get that. We only have the big box. Yeah, pawn shops. Wow. Go to pawn shops. Someone said they just got Dogma on Blu-ray for $1.50. That thing's going for.
Anytime I go to the pawn shop, it's just a bunch of stolen bikes.
I think it depends on where you're living. Like if you're, if you're in certain areas of the country, you may not be finding Dogma on Blu-ray.
Like, man, I can't put this fucking radio in my car. It's from the Honda.
Like, let me try this code on. Oh, I just got stuck with a dirty needle. Great. Merry Christmas, everyone. So, anyways, sorry about all the technical issues with our guest. StreamYard doesn't play well with
Safari.
Safari. So that's something good to know and keep in mind. I'm supposed to mention that to people before the show, and I forget.
Yeah, get that Google's Chromes.
Well, that's why he was on an iPhone, so that's why he couldn't download Chrome. So
you can though, but that's for next show. That's
right. It was telling him no, and he doesn't have a webcam for his regular computer, so that makes sense too. That's why he can do that. I'm with Tony. It's all about building the collection. It's nice to know the value, but no, I hear you. I'm just giving him crap. I'm just because the thing is, Jeremy, is that he was looking it up before he bought it, and he's just being like, "Oh, I'm just making sure I have it in my collection." And he's just suckers. Go read a book. That's
but here's the thing with me.
What up, Poindexter? Give me these movies for $12.
It'll be in my collection. Other people do. Like, I don't have an eBay store or anything like that. So
not yet.
Anyways, on that note,
Tony's got DVDs and Blu-rays for sale. Hit him up on TikTok.
Yeah, he's on
He got
TikTok
them-
under makethatbootyslap.org.
Yeah, get your Blu-rays for the low. Come see my man Tony Nine Fingers.
I'll give you a real good deal. Instead of $150, I'll sell it for you $149.99.
Oh,
for you,
snap!
For
just
you,
give me like $1.45.
Yeah,
that's it. It's yours.
So, Angel, where can people go to find your shenanigans and spidoinkles?
You can find me and you on our last episode of That Strange Show. We just put out. We're talking about GameStop and backroom shenanigans. I don't know if you remember.
Nope.
All right. Well, it's streaming now. Well, we recorded that like 6 months ago.
I was gonna say I was definitely younger then.
Yeah, you were.
I was not the age I am now.
No, you've had a birthday since.
Yes. Yeah.
And but we were talking about the sadness. But yeah, you can find me, Mandy, and Ryan on there, and Kevin a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So, and that's about
Word.
it.
Tony,
And on the
what about
internet.
yourself? Yeah, on the interwebs. Tony,
you can find me on YouTube. Tony Has Nine Fingers, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, anything movie related. You'll find me there. Tony Has Nine Fingers on Twitter. Tony Has Nine Fingers on TikTok, where I do movie reviews, the same thing, and I do lives, which
well,
you gotta get
a special guest the last time. Angel joined.
Oh, for real?
So yeah, he was in one of my lives.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was in the comment like, yo, you don't got Hagazusa, bro. You said you don't got that movie.
No. But anyway, so lives, I'll try to pull out movies. People will mention them, and I try to pull them out.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna find things that you don't have too, and I'm gonna go in and be like, you ain't shit. You ain't got this.
There's a good amount of stuff.
I see people. Yeah, people are like, yeah, you got blue cherry pie. You're like, what?
Yeah, there's some movies I've never heard of in my freaking
One Man, One Jar on Blu-ray, the 4K edition.
4K.
Yeah, no, there's some stuff I'm like, yeah, the other people are like, dude, I bet you ain't got American Pie. Like they're like, people are dumb too.
I get the same, 10 movies all the time.
Yeah,
and then it's like, and then the problem is like I like to answer everyone's comments. But the thing is, they'll repeat over the same thing, and they're like, "Why are you repeating everything?" I'm like, "Because I'm reading all the comments. If you don't repeat it, I won't repeat myself."
Yeah,
I'm like, I get annoyed with it too.
Yeah, this boy's like, "Oh yeah, you got that, got that, yep, got that right there, you already asked me that, okay, got that. No, I already answered that."
So, anyways, go check him out on his TikTok. He's got a ever growing following. And
he do. He's going viral, bro.
Almost at 20K.
Viral in the sense of someone sent him some used panties that weren't really used panties.
Yeah, it was actually
funny.
I don't even have it. It's a little penis thing.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah,
I was like, what the hell is
one
this
thing? He's
thing?
like, now your mailman thinks you're a creep or something like that because it says right on it like that it came from a used panty place.
It's smellmythong.com.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's pretty funny. That's what fans are. Anyways,
where can people find you besides smellmythong.com?
Yeah, just a knuckle on Instagram. Besides doing this, I'm also part of Black and White Fright. I almost said Secret Underground Hideout, but I stopped myself. And Violence Buffet. And then actually Jeremy Courtney, who was in the chat, I don't know if he still is on the Facebook side. See Sergio? Facebook. I might be starting a new show with him at some point soon. So yeah. And he was doing a thing. He was streaming to our YouTube channel for a bit too. He was doing a live build of the Millennium Falcon, the Lego build. And I think he's gonna put it all together and do like a time lapse kind of thing. And
sick.
It took him like all this time. And he's gonna put it together it's gonna be like a 2-minute thing. And he's just gonna at the end of it, he's just gonna pick it up and throw it on the floor. Smash.
Yeah, those are my favorite ones.
And he won that in a raffle thing at Terrificon, and it's worth a lot of money. I wouldn't have opened it.
Yeah,
but
those are usually worth it. I still got a BB-8 in a box unopened.
I sold my Ecto 1. I sold my Ecto 1 for money, obviously for money. But anyways,
like Tony's about to do to the movies.
Oh, no, you didn't. But I won that in a raffle. But anyways, so thanks for watching, class, listening, and goodbye. I'm ending it.